ladies and gentlemen, and movie lovers of all kind, and welcome back to the channel. As always, I am your host, Brett Murphy, and for today's video, it is going to be another brand new movie review. And I am going to be reviewing The Black Phone. So The Black Phone is the latest Blumhouse horror movie to be releasing in theaters this very weekend. And it also marks director Scott Derrickson, who most recently did Doctor Strange, but is likely best known for Sinister's return to the genre. Fun fact for you all that might not have known already, but The Black Phone was easily one of my most anticipated movies of this entire year. So the fact that it's finally here has me absolutely elated. But now the question is, as always, does it deliver? Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to find out. As always with my new movie reviews, this will be 110% spoiler free. So if you have not seen the movie yet, or you're watching this review to see if it's right for you, you can proceed with confidence. Before I hop into the actual review itself, I just wanted to let you all know that I have an entire playlist dedicated to all of my new movie reviews. So be sure to check that out, and I guarantee you'll find something you like. And so without further ado, let's hop right into things. So the first thing up on my positives list for this movie is Ethan Hawke. He gives an absolutely hypnotic performance. He's creepy, he's menacing, just such a truly slimy and unsettling character. The mask, or masks, because as you see in the trailer, he does have the ability to change the emotions on it, or the faces, whatever you want to call it, are phenomenal in my opinion. One of the most memorable horror movie masks in a long time. Next up on my positives list are the two main child actors, being Mason Thames as Finn and Madeline McGraw as Gwen. They play a brother and sister duo in this flick, and they were both exceptional. I was honestly blown away by just how good they were. Definitely among the best child actor performances I have possibly ever seen. Yeah, they were that good. I also felt that the rest of the supporting cast was fairly strong too. You have the alcoholic father played by Jeremy Davies, who you will likely best know from the TV series Lost, where he played Dr. Daniel Faraday. You also have the detectives played by E. Roger Mitchell and Ted Rudeseal, as well as another returning cast member from Derrickson's Sinister, who you will likely also know from It Chapter 2, James Ransone, who I won't spoil his part in this movie, but he was just so eccentric and over the top and awesome. The next thing up on my list that I wanted to address for this movie is that it just has a really unique story idea overall. It takes what could have ended up being a very basic and generic abduction plot and adds in some paranormal and otherworldly elements to really help turn it into something special. And me personally, I think they really succeeded. There are also some genuinely shocking twists in here. Of course, once again, no spoilers, so don't worry about that. But some stuff in here actually had me shook. Really didn't expect some places that this one goes, and I loved that. I love being surprised in movies. The setting was yet another superb choice by director Scott Derrickson and his team. It's set within 1974, and that just further added to my love for this movie. I loved the outfits, the cars, the houses and their decor, the slang, all of it. It just all really worked for me, and I do think this was the best time that they could have set this movie in. Another really awesome and fantastic element that Derrickson returned to from Sinister was that old school Super 8 looking home video style. You know what I'm talking about in Sinister, the box of old tapes that Ethan Hawke finds that are supposed to be family videos, but they're actually the snuff films. They're all handheld, shaky cam, and really grainy and things like that. And he returns to that style throughout certain bits of this movie. As always, yet again, I will not get into spoilers on how this is used or when it's used or how frequently or anything like that. I'm also pretty sure you do see some of it in the trailer, so it's not a spoiler itself, but I just totally dug it and thought it was very cleverly integrated into the movie. Another major positive that I did admittedly forget to originally mention in this video, because if you can tell, this is being recorded slightly after, so the frame might be slightly different or the lighting slightly off, and that is this movie's score composed by Mark Corvin. Mark Corvin, for those of you who might not know who he is, 3 of his recent movies have been Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City, where the score was likely the best part, The Lighthouse, and The Witch. He does some magnificently haunting work here once again, and I am so happy that he got yet another high-profile horror movie and nailed it. And the last positive up on my list for this movie is Scott Derrickson's direction on its own. Look, I know I've already pumped this guy up a lot throughout this review, but Sinister is one of the greats in my opinion, and Derrickson is right back where he belongs in the horror genre. Don't get me wrong, I really do enjoy the first Doctor Strange, but I am also thrilled to see Derrickson back in the genre that he does his best work in, and this very well may possibly be his best work yet. Sadly though, I do have a few small negatives with this movie. I always say sadly because I never want to say anything bad about any movie. I wish I could love every movie I saw, especially this one with all the positives that I just went through. If you couldn't tell, I use the word love a lot because I loved this movie, but there are still some negatives that need addressing. Firstly is that although I said the two main child actors were phenomenal, and I definitely stick by that, a lot of the other child actors, not so much. They're okay, there's none that are like really bad, but they're just definitely not anywhere near as good as the main two. And yes, of course, the main two get a lot more focus, but don't get me wrong, there are other child actors in here, and it just, I don't know, a lot of their dialogue and stuff just didn't feel that natural. Their acting kind of felt like acting at times. Again, not a huge negative because the main two are the main focus, but that's just the risk you always run when you work with kids. The other main negative I have for this movie lies within its storytelling. Not the story itself, but the way that the story unfolds. Yes, I still stand by the fact that there are some genuinely fan-freaking-tastic twists in this movie that really shook me. Some brutal moments, some shocking moments, all that good stuff. Absolutely, I stand by that. But the story just plays out in a bit of a by-the-numbers predictable kind of way. There are twists and turns and reveals in here, but the overall story, I mean to say, is a bit predictable, sadly. And that's it though. That's the end of my negatives list for this movie. So if you weren't picking up the hints by now, I absolutely adored The Black Phone. Yes, I do have a few small little issues and nitpicks with it, but the positives greatly outweigh the negatives. I had a blast with this movie from start to finish. There is never a dull moment. I was never bored. It was the perfect length, and it delivered on pretty much everything that I was hoping for. And because of that, it easily slides into the category of one of my favorite movies of the year. I'm talking like top 5 right now, people. And so with all of that being said, I am going to be giving The Black Phone a 9 out of 10. So that is all for today's video, folks. Be sure to let me know down in the comments if you agree or disagree with my review. While you're at it, feel free to let me know what you would score The Black Phone out of 10. If you enjoyed that video, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. And if you'd like to see more content, consider subscribing to my channel and ringing that little bell icon. That way you can be notified about all of my latest uploads. And as always, stay safe. Thank you so much for watching. And that's a wrap. Hey you, yeah you, if you made it this far, just know I appreciate you. And while you're here, consider hitting that subscribe button.